What's going on? How y'all doing out there? What's happening? So yeah, I listened to that Beyonce Cowboy Carter record. Um, Her vocals were on point. I like the background vocals a lot. I think that she definitely been listening to some Queen stuff. I definitely hear Freddie Mercury kind of vibe. Rockabilly, definitely a nod to Chuck Berry. Um, Interesting. The gospel aspect of it was really cool. All the pros are that her vocals are on point. I like the acoustic setting. I think that did her justice. I think too often than not, when she tries to be bombastic with hip hop beats or over the top instrumentation, it doesn't complement her voice as much as the subtlety. So I think the subtlety would loan itself when I remember Unplugged on MTV. Oh, if they still had that around today and she stripped it down, some of this could be some of her best stuff. I think if she had pulled a Mariah Carey with an Unplugged with some of this stuff, I think it would have worked. Um, the Linda Martell shout out's important, acknowledging the roots and stuff. She tried to cover a lot of bases. The problem with Beyonce, like, she's got a 90s syndrome thing going here. The album is too long. You're gonna cut that thing in half. The Janet Jackson-esque interludes were some of them were interesting. I like that desert that desert one had a real funky groove. I think Thundercat was on the bass. I like that one. A few of the songs caught my attention. I thought the one she did with Miley Cyrus, the vocals were good. And I was surprised. I didn't expect Miley Cyrus to be able to sound decent with Beyonce, so I thought that was pretty cool with that one. And I thought the Bodyguard song, which to me was like Sheryl Crow meets Fleetwood Mac, because it had that soak up the sun and in the groove. And then she did a cover of the Beatles' Blackbird, which Paul McCartney wrote about. African American sisters were slain back in the '60s. So awesome. Nod. There was a hybrid and a hodgepodge of things. It's not a country album. It's just kind of like her more of a pop Renaissance thing. Her gumbo. Um, but again, one of the things that hurts her is that sound, like what Michael Jackson was able to do with constructing these type of records, is that you gotta have the songs that really stand out. And the songs to me, they all right, but there's some gimmicky stuff. I didn't really care for the stuff she did with, uh, you know, uh, Post Malone. I thought that was a waste of time with the Levi jeans. I think some of the language, some of her vulgarities at this stage is a bit redundant and tiring. I think it weighs it down. I think at this stage as an artist that she's 20 plus years as a solo artist and she's been in the industry almost 30 as an artist overall. I think things a bit much, because it's kind of like you're still trying to come off like the hood rat, the Creole hood rat, but you want to be seen in this kind of prim light and all this. And I just think it's kind of sporadic and all over the place. So certain things work, some don't. Now I know she cut most of these records during the lockdown. It's better than that Renaissance record. There are a couple of tracks that seem like they're holdovers from it. Um, I would say this. It's pretty good. It's not great or nothing like that. It has moments, because her vocals are on point and the background vocals are strong. And some of the stuff I like. Jolene, I like the gospel choir aspect. She changed up the lyrics a bit. It didn't really make or break. Willie Nelson as the DJ. I just think this record would have been like 2 albums. And then you could have debated it, because there's one album, it's bloated and floated. But if you cut it down in half, it had a chance to be almost a good record. I just think that they got a lot too much going on because she's trying to absorb so much. Now, I hope this ain't trying to, I could care less about Grammys and stuff because I think she's overrated, over awarded personally, and just like Taylor Swift. But this record will definitely be one of those records that, for whatever she's trying to accomplish, there's a lot to swim through. I think it'll have an audience will dig some of it. I think her vocals are on point, and like I said, background. Some of the songs were on point. Some of the things were kind of like, And with her, you get this picnic of a lot, and then sometimes it gets kind of bloated. So I think that's the only thing that really, kind of hurts it. But I think that personally, had she done like a cover album, say like Elton John meets Leon Russell, with those kind of songs, and maybe a nod to Dolly Parton, like if you're gonna do it and utilize or go to the Ray Charles songbook, if you will, really just showcase your vocals and the acoustic guitar and the fiddle and the steel guitar and the violins and the bass and drums and like an organ or something. Just really utilize it. Get that Billy Preston organ thing going. Really make it real Houston. A nod to Billy Preston, a nod to the Crusaders. Really to Ronnie Laws and that. Make that thing tight, because I think that one of the problems that I have with her records is that they veer off and they don't stay coherent. And then when you get a long extended record, it loses its sight. But I think that she tried to, speak on a lot of things. Actually, her father was a recurring theme. There's some pain and heartache there, and there's a lot of little subtleties and not so subtle things that are involved. So, there's the freakosity, and then there is the, but it talks about the American life, but don't really go into a lot of depth. And I've never been big on her as a lyrical artist. So she had a few things here that were decent, but she's not a lyricist. But I'll say this before. No, I'm not the biggest fan of hers, but she's been the most important black pop crossover act for the last 2 decades. She just has that pulse that people want. So, it's one of those records. It's not a bad record. It has moments. It's not average. It's better than average. It's better than the last record. However, it could have been trimmed down a bit more, But her vocals were on point, and I love the acoustic aspect, and I like the tributes, and she had there were a few things that worked, but just a little bit too long for me, though. That's all. But anyway, tell me what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. Share the video if you like. I'm out. Peace.